everyone, thanks for joining me. My name is Dakota, and on this channel we have fun with learning and creating art. Let's see what we're creating today.
All right, so for this Valentine's card, the supplies we are using is Arches watercolor paper. It's a 9 by 12, but I cut it down to 4s, which is a 4.5 by 6 size. We've got some painter's tape, my Winsor Newton Cotman watercolors. I've got 2 cups of water, paper towel, and this is my size 10 round Princeton Neptune brush. It holds more water than the Princeton Heritage brushes, and I'll be using it for the large painting of the background, so that's why we're using this one. And then we've also got a white crayon to use. Alright, so now I'm going to use the white crayon to write and draw whatever I want on the white watercolor paper. This is going to be very quick and easy and fun to do. When you put the watercolor over top, you will see the crayon through because has a waxy inside of it, which will repel the watercolor. So it gives a neat effect. So to start, I'm going to draw a big heart in the center. And then I'm actually going to go around the heart and draw smaller hearts around just to fill in the white space. Now, with using the crayon, I'm going to push down harder than normal. Oh, look at that, I just broke the crayon. That's okay. So we're going to push down harder than normal, and I'm also going to go over it a few times so that the lines are thick enough to see. After we put on the watercolor, we want to make sure that we can see it through the watercolor. So I'll speed through this process, but again, we're just doing a big heart and then some little hearts around. All right, so now that we've got the hearts drawn in there, you can have anything written in the center. I actually decided just to write the word love in the center, but you can have anything. Happy Valentine's Day, be my Valentine, be mine, I love you. Either one will work. You just have to be cautious about the size of paper you have and how much room. Unless you can get the smaller point for the crayon, it might be hard to write in many words there. Right, so now we've got the word love written in there with the white crayon. So I'm just wiping away any of the excess flakes of the crayon. And now I've got my brush, and what I'm going to do is wet the whole page with water. I don't want it soaking wet, but I do want it wet enough that the paint will spread and bleed a bit. Okay, if you find that you put too much on and it's pooling, you can just take your paper towel or whichever you have and just gently dab it up. Okay, so again, we're just going to take some water and cover the whole paper. All right, and watch, especially with painter's tape, sometimes it's not as sticky and it can lift. You'll see later that some of the paint ends up going underneath because it lifts a bit. So just keep an eye on your tape to make sure that it's secured to the paper. So now is the fun part to add the color. So I'm using Permanent Rose and Dioxazine Purple. And what I'm doing is, instead of just dabbing the paint in and all over, I'm actually drawing, painting in diagonal lines alternating from pink to purple. And we'll do that throughout the whole page, and you'll see the crayon showing through there. So you can add a couple layers, make it darker if you need, or whatever you prefer. It will dry lighter than what it looks like wet. Okay, so we're just going to do this until it's all finished here. So we're just finishing up the second layer, and then we're going to let this dry completely, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I ended up grabbing a smaller brush, and I'm just using the back or end of the brush just to go over the parts with the crayon to kind of scrape off the layer of paint so that you can see the crayon more through, so that the hearts and the word love is more noticeable. So I'm going to go through, and I'll speed this up. I'm going to go through and make sure I've got all of the hearts and again the word love more noticeable here. Okay, now it is finished, and I like how it looks. Again, you can add more layers if you want it darker. I like the way that it looks right now, so we're going to go ahead and peel off the tape, and here is where you'll see the little bit of paint that went underneath the tape because it lifted up. You also have to remember too, if you use a heat tool or a hair dryer, anything like that, to press down on the tape after, as the heat actually loosens the adhesive on the tape and it will make it lift up off the paper. Okay, so this is the end result. It is super fun, super easy, and very quick to do. Great for children, beginners, even anyone. It's just fun and super easy to do. And you can use this for a Valentine's Day card, or you can use it for an anniversary card. You can do whatever you want. You can even use the white crayon to make different things, water, clouds or birds, anything like that. It doesn't have to be this specific type. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you give it a try.
Thanks again for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.